This video is going to focus on working one color brioche knit in the round. This is a replacement video for one that I created about 3 years ago. I'm hoping that my video making ability has improved since then. I have used a worsted weight yarn on a US 8 16-inch circular needle. That's a 5mm circular or 5mm circumference needle, and I have cast on 80 stitches. To begin, I'm going to place my handy dandy marker on my right hand needle, and to work the setup round, I'm going to knit the first stitch and work the second stitch as a slip-one yarn over. A slip-one yarn over simply means with the working yarn in front, we're going to slip the next stitch purlwise, and then the yarn over aspect is when we move our working yarn to the back to knit the next stitch, we create a wrap over that stitch that we just slipped. So we knit that first stitch, we worked a slip-one yarn over, which creates a little wrap on that second stitch, and now we've knit the second stitch, and we're going to work a slip-one yarn over, again with the working yarn in front. And we're going to repeat that all the way around the entire circumference of the hat. So the pattern will be knit one, slip one yarn over, knit one, slip one yarn over. So I'm going to work to the end of my round in pattern, and when I get to the end of the round I will show you how to work set up round 1B. Okay, so here I am at my last 2 stitches. In keeping with pattern, I have to knit the second last stitch as a knit one, and the last stitch will be worked as a slip one yarn over, which means we bring our working yarn to the front, slip the next stitch purlwise. We're going to move our marker, and now we have to start round 1B, which means when we have a single stitch, we have to make it a double, and when we have a double stitch or a wrapped stitch, we have to make it a single. And the second round is a BRP or a Brioche Pearl round. So to start the round, even though we have just finished this last stitch as a slip-one yarn over by bringing our working yarn to the front and slipping it, we have to do the same thing. So we want to make sure that our marker is sort of out of the way as much as you can. We're going to bring that working yarn to the front between the needles, slip that first stitch purlwise, and then our yarn over is by bringing the working yarn all the way around to the front again. And now we're going to brioche purl, which looks a lot like a purl two together. We're going to purl the stitch and its wrap together. Now our working yarn is in the front, so we're going to slip that stitch as a slip one yarn over, bring the working yarn all the way to the front again, and work our brioche purl. And so the pattern for this round is to work a slip one yarn over with the working yarn in front. We slip the stitch purlwise, bring the working yarn to the front, and brioche purl. So the pattern again is slip one yarn over, brioche purl, slip one yarn over, brioche purl. And you're going to work these 2 stitches now to the end of the round. And we're going to remember that when we see a single stitch, we work that as a slip one yarn over. When we see a double stitch or a stitch that's wrapped or has a shawl over it, we're going to purl those 2 together. Slip one, brioche purl. Working yarn is in the front, so we slip the next stitch. The yarn over comes from working the yarn to the front and purling the next stitch. So I'm going to continue around to the end, and we will look at the next step of round 2A. Okay, so I am back down to the last 2 stitches of round 1B. As per the pattern, I have to work the second last stitch as a slip one yarn over, and the last stitch as a BRP1 or a brioche purl. We're now going to have to start the next round of round 2A as a brioche knit. However, I don't want to lock my stitch marker in place. You notice that I moved my marker before I moved my yarn to the back. So what I find the easiest thing to do is when I get to the end of the round and I have worked my last stitch as that brioche purl, I'm going to move my working yarn to the back, slip my marker second, and then begin round 2A, which is a brioche knit round, which means we repeat brioche knit 1, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit 1, and the slip 1 yarn over on a brioche knit 1 round, or a brioche knit round, I apologize, is to move the working yarn to the front, slip that next stitch purlwise, and then the action of knitting the next stitch creates the yarn over. So slip 1 yarn over, knit or brioche knit, working yarn to the front, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit, working yarn to the front, slip 1 yarn over. So we're going to work in the pattern of working a brioche knit, followed by a slip 1 yarn over to the end of the round. And I'll come back and explain round 2B and how to complete knitting in the round in one color brioche rib. Okay, here we are again at the last 2 stitches of round 2A, which is a brioche knit round. So I'm going to brioche knit 1 and work my final slip 1 yarn over. And this is going to look a lot like the end of the setup round 1A, because we've just worked a slip 1 yarn over at the end of the round. We now need to start the next round, which is round 2B, which is a brioche purl round with a slip 1 yarn over. So to do that, we need to bring our working yarn to the front between the needles again, slip that stitch purlwise, and create the yarn over of the slip 1 yarn over by wrapping the yarn one more time to the front to brioche purl the next stitch. The pattern for round 2B is slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl. And that's as complicated as it gets. To repeat, to make your project in the round taller, you're simply going to repeat rounds 2A and 2B alternately. So you work one round as round 2A, which is BRK 1, slip 1 yarn over to the end of the round, and then you'll work round 2B, which is the brioche purl 1, slip 1 yarn over brioche purl 1 to the end of the round. And that's the basis of brioche one color in the round. I hope that helps you, and if you've got questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. I've got a slew of other videos on brioche knitting that I hope you will find helpful, and happy brioching.